SeoulScreen, where stories come alive, and where we don't just watch dramas, we peel them open, look at the wounds, the healing, the chaos, and talk about what it all means. Welcome back, everyone. Today's episode is going to be intense, emotional, and very human, because we're diving into the psychological unraveling and awakening of one of the most tragic yet fascinating characters in Dear Ex, Yoon Jun Seo. If you've been following this drama, you already know that Dear Ex doesn't play around. It's messy, dark, manipulative, and brilliantly written. And at the heart of all this emotional destruction stands Jun Seo, a man blinded by love, guilt, and loyalty. But today, we're talking about something new: the turning points. The moments when the fog finally starts to lift. The moments that push him to confront the truth he's been avoiding. The moments that break him, but also rebuild him. And honestly, I think this kind of character arc is one of the reasons Dear Ex hits so hard. Because it's not just about romance or betrayal. It's about waking up from a life you didn't choose. It's about finally seeing the truth behind the people you love. And as we go through these 8 turning points, I want you to ask yourself, if you were Jun Seo, could you have woken up earlier? Or is this the only way someone like him learns? Let's talk about the shift in Jun Seo's life. The painful, necessary shift. It starts with death. Specifically, the death of In-gang and his grandmother. 2 people who genuinely cared for him. 2 people who stood by him without manipulation. And 2 people whose deaths directly or indirectly connect to Ah Jin's selfish ambition. Before this, Jun Seo could still justify Ah Jin's actions. He could forgive. He could rationalize. He could twist reality just enough to make her look less monstrous. But when someone you care about dies, not because of fate, not because of an accident, but because someone else put their ambition above human lives, something inside you cracks. This is the first moment where he starts to realize that Ah Jin isn't just complicated. She's dangerous. She doesn't hesitate to sacrifice anyone. And that realization plants the very first seed of doubt. And honestly, I think this is realistic. People don't wake up instantly from manipulation. Sometimes it takes a shock, something irreversible, to make you question the narrative you've been loyal to your whole life. Now let's move to the second turning point. After everything that happened, Jun Seo finds himself quietly questioning his morals. Even though he doesn't act on these thoughts yet, he starts to see the cracks. He starts realizing there were so many moments when he should have stopped Ah Jin. Moments when he should have defended the right thing. But he didn't, because he loved her, because he felt guilty, because he convinced himself that loyalty meant silence. And I want to ask you something. How many times do we stay silent for someone we care about, even when they're wrong? How many times do we choose peace over confrontation, even if the price is our conscience? Jun Seo's journey feels painfully relatable here. It's the beginning of him facing himself. Then comes one of the biggest sacrifices he ever makes: donating a kidney to his mother. Not out of pure love, but as a desperate bargain. He tells his mother he'll give her his kidney if she stops interfering with Ah Jin's life. This is such a striking moment, because this isn't just self-sacrifice. It's a man giving away a literal part of his body to protect someone else. Someone who doesn't even appreciate it. And that leads us to the fourth moment. Ah Jin doesn't visit him. Not once, not a text, not a call, not even a hint of care. He's lying in a hospital bed, in pain, recovering from a major surgery done partly for her sake, and she doesn't show up. Can you imagine what that feels like? After years of giving everything to someone, you suddenly see your importance through their eyes, or rather, your lack of importance. That is a brutal awakening. But it gets even worse. When his grandfather dies, Jun Seo is devastated. This is someone he deeply loved, respected, someone he thought of as an emotional anchor. And even in this moment of grief, Ah Jin shows no empathy. None. This is the fifth turning point. Most people reveal who they are during someone else's lowest moment. If a person loves you, they sit with you, comfort you, cry with you. But Ah Jin? She shows nothing. And that emptiness speaks louder than anything she could have said. At this point, Jun Seo is already breaking. He's realizing that the person he devoted his entire life to may never have loved him at all. And then comes the nuclear bomb. The truth that changes everything. He finds out he is the child of his mother's affair. an illegitimate son raised as the heir, not because of love, but because it was convenient. He spent his whole life believing he was a rightful successor, someone chosen, someone important in this family's legacy, only to discover that he was a pawn. A mistake polished into a symbol. Imagine that betrayal. Your identity collapses. Your history suddenly feels like a lie. Your belonging disappears. Everything you thought you were standing on just crumbles beneath you. And then comes the seventh twist. The most personal, the most painful. Ah Jin knew. She knew this secret since she was a child. And she said nothing. She let him suffer. She let him live under false beliefs. She let him love her, protect her, sacrifice for her, all while knowing the truth behind his existence. This is the moment that destroys whatever affection he had left. Because betrayal from a lover is painful, but betrayal from someone you trusted with your soul? That's life-changing. And finally, the eighth turning point. Jun Seo walks away. He makes the choice he should have made long ago. He stops living in Ah Jin's shadow. He stops centering his life around her. He stops letting guilt dictate his decisions. And he starts choosing himself. This moment isn't explosive. It isn't dramatic. It's quiet, calm, heavy. And that's what makes it powerful. Some awakenings happen with tears and screaming, but the most profound ones happen in silence, when you finally realize you deserve better. He goes back to his mother's house. He tries to make peace with the past. He breathes. He exists. For the first time in a long time, he exists for himself. And now the biggest question. What happens next? Will Jun Seo truly let go of Ah Jin? Or will a part of him still be drawn to her darkness? Will he seek revenge? Will he confront her? Will he fall apart or rebuild himself? We don't know. And that uncertainty is exactly what keeps viewers glued to the screen. Personally, I hope he doesn't go back to her. Not because I hate Ah Jin as a character, she's incredibly written and brilliantly acted, but because going back would erase all the growth he just achieved. I want Jun Seo to stand tall, to reclaim his identity, to build a life that isn't shaped by guilt or manipulation. But what about you? What ending do you want for him? Do you think he deserves peace, revenge, love, or solitude? Do you think Ah Jin ever cared for him at all? And be honest, do you think Jun Seo would have woken up sooner if he hadn't lost so much? Let's talk about it in the comments. Dear X is a drama that thrives on discussion, on disagreement, on perspective. And I want to hear yours. This has been SeoulScreen. Thank you for joining me in this deep dive into one of the most heartbreaking yet powerful character developments we've seen in recent K-dramas. If you enjoyed this analysis, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. I'll see you in the next video.